Hi, I'm Larry O'Brien of ARC Advisory Group here at the 2018 ARC Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida. And I'm here today with the VP of the Americas for cybersecurity firm Indegy, Gaby Koren. Good afternoon, Gaby.
Hi, Larry.
How are you today?
Thank you for having us.
So we've seen a big presence in cybersecurity here at the ARC Forum, I think probably more than we've seen since we started the forum. So we just have a few questions about the market environment and your company. And as we've seen here at the forum, interest in cybersecurity continues to increase. I think about just all levels of industrial automation and enterprise markets. How has this affected your business as a whole, and how are you responding with new products and solutions?
Great question, thank you. So if I roll back about 12, 18 months ago, a big part of our focus was to educate the market, to teach the market about cybersecurity and the need for industrial applications within cybersecurity. And what we're seeing today is that customers are way more educated. They understand that there is an actual need. So we're seeing much more focus on the value that our solutions bring to the market, and we're seeing an increase in interest. We're also seeing much more segments popping up that weren't so popular in the past, such as food and beverages, such as pharma.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this spreading across all industries, all segments, and around the world. So the market understands that this is a reality, that this is a need that everybody across all industries require. The fact that we spend much time into the technology and perfecting it brings a lot of customers to us because of our experience and knowledge. And the fact that we were born from the OT side, which is very appealing to the manufacturing side of the house.
Yeah, I think we definitely see some companies coming down from IT, but it's always good to have that OT, right, factory floor level of experience. And I certainly agree with you about food and beverage and maybe some of the other industries that probably haven't been so concerned about cybersecurity in the past are now starting to express interest. Just a question about your product offering. I mean, we at ARC have seen basically three common approaches for monitoring industrial control networks. There's the passive, the active, and the hybrid. Tell us a little bit about the Indegy approach, and what do you recommend and why?
Okay. So we're very unique because we are the only ones out there that really provide that hybrid approach of active and passive. And there's been a lot of discussion about that, whether it's safe, whether it's secure, whether it can be applied. We are huge believers on the hybrid because passive alone does not give you the visibility that our customers require. It doesn't give them the 360 degrees. It also doesn't give them the depth of the information that is required in order to be able to make decisions. So passive only gives you so far in terms of monitoring and visibility. We believe that this is required in order to provide much more information. However, not only that, we believe in the devices being safe and that no changes are being made to the devices themselves. And the only way to have that visibility in order to know if something has changed to the device itself, what we call the device integrity, is by having a hybrid approach. With that said, we also want customers to feel comfortable with any technology, so we have this as an add-on. It can be disabled, and we have customers that started with a passive only and then added the hybrid approach fairly soon after they see the benefits of it. However, so if we're talking passive only, Indegy is the best out there. And then when you're convinced that hybrid is the right approach, as we believe, then Indegy is the only one out there that can provide you a solution.
So moving on from the passive, active, and hybrid approach, we all know the biggest nemesis for our customers in manufacturing is unplanned downtime. In fact, ARC has done some research into that area. We estimated that unplanned downtime can cost the process and manufacturing industries in excess of $1 trillion a year, right? So this is a pretty serious problem. What kind of products and solutions and services are you providing to help avoid unplanned downtime? How do you help avoid that downtime?
Great question. So we believe that the downtime that is kind of the effect that we see when something goes wrong, when there is a disruption to the operation. It starts as a journey, and this is how we look at it in Indegy. The journey begins by understanding what is that you have out there in your network, having a true map, a true inventory of everything that you have there. And the only way to protect it properly and understand how you can address these potential disruptions is to fully understand what is that you have in your environment. The second, and this is what makes Indegy very unique, is our ability to monitor everything that goes on the network because of the depth, going back to the hybrid approach. And third, and this is the third unique point of Indegy, is the fact that we are based on policies that address the needs of each specific company and each specific segment. So when we put the three together, you decrease the risk of downtime because you're following what is happening in your network from the beginning of the process, which is understanding what you have, what are the activities, who are the devices, and what are the attributes of these devices that allow you to make decisions before they actually happen. Then when we put on top of it is that we accumulate this information over time so we can give you hints of what is happening in your environment. So customers that are using Indegy, one of the things that they like the most is that they're never surprised anymore. They actually manage the process and manage their environment as it should be managed properly. So there are no surprises when there is overtime. However, this cannot be avoided 100%, and as you said, about trillions of dollars are being at risk there. So the question, and to close the loop on that, is how fast can you recover if there is a downtime? And this is where Indegy is bringing much more value, again, than any of our competitors by allowing customers to go back to full operations by having the information about the devices, the information about the network, the monitoring, and following the process from A to Z in order to recover much faster. So not only before, during, but also after a disruption occurs, that customers benefit from using Indegy.
Great. Your company's well known, obviously, in the manufacturing sector, manufacturers, operations, factory, and plant personnel. How long do you think it'll take to have the same level of name recognition, amongst the IT personnel, among the same manufacturers? I mean, one of the things we're talking about this week is this sort of convergence between IT and OT, which seems to be happening more and more and faster, in industry. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So this is another change, or another trend that we're seeing changing over time. So in the past, when we used to talk about OT and IT convergence, some customers were surprised or puzzled about that. These days are over as well. And from our experience, only when OT and IT join forces that these projects and these initiatives actually are successful. We are seeing also that IT is driving a lot of the budgets, a lot of the attention, and are helping OT to put cybersecurity on the map much faster. So we are embracing this. With that said, there are some questions or requests or things that are common in IT that are big no-no in OT. So there is a little bit more education going on the IT side. But we are being much more popular on the IT side, much more recognized on the IT side because of the fact that we spoke about the convergence right from the get-go, and not because it happened, it dawned to us, but actually we drove these discussions.
Yeah, and I think that's good. That's not a new discussion, right? I mean, I think the first discussion we had about IT-OT convergence at ARC was over 5 years ago here, but now it really seems to be hitting home for a lot of people.
Yes.
So it's good that you guys were able to get a head start there. Just one last question. Allowing employees to bring your own device, or BYOD as it's called, has been a growing trend among manufacturers and processors. What types of solutions does your company offer to help support this BYOD trend?
Okay, great question. So we want customers to feel comfortable with the solutions. That means to have access through their mobile devices, having access, being notified even when they are not in the plans. So we support all of that. We also take this to our own solutions as well by offering virtual machines, so customers can provide their own hardware if they want to. We're seeing a lot of interest there. Customers still trust cybersecurity when it comes as a package, as a turnkey. But we support the fact that multiple stakeholders in the organizations need to have the visibility to what Indegy can bring to them. And from that regard, again, mobile applications, having access from anywhere to the results and to the notifications is something that is sacred for us, and we offer it from the get-go, out of the box, in our solutions.
Good to hear. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Gaby.
Thank you, Larry.
Again, this is Larry O'Brien of ARC Advisory Group here at the ARC Industry Forum Orlando in 2018, here with Gaby Koren, VP of the Americas for Indegy, and thanks for joining us.